We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame.
Yo bro, you have an assignment? It's PA shot.
We do. Oh yeah, we have. I forgot. Let's get the other fella.
Come on. Yo bro. Hey, we got an assignment bro.
Which one?
PHR. Tata Negara, man. Come on.
Should we talk about the concept first?
Yeah, alright. Let's just. We're not here. Let's find somewhere else. Come on.
Yeah.
So, what's the constitutional law actually is?
Alright. So constitutional law is the law that regulates the state. But it's not just a theory. It talks about the specific time, place, and circumstances in the real state.
So basically, constitutional regulates how the state system works, what state institution exists, and what kind of rules that govern the government.
And I read that in constitutional law there's a hierarchy and it's important and there's the order for it, right? Like the top and the bottom for it.
Yep, from the highest to the lowest, the 1945 Constitution, law or government regulation in lieu of law, government regulation, presidential regulation, and regional regulation. The lower regulation can't contradict the higher one.
For example, a parda can't make rule that conflict with the law. If it does, it can be cancelled. Everything has to be aligned with the regulations so it don't clash.
Speaking of state, constitutional also regulates institution regulations like MPR, DPR, DPRD, President, Supreme Court, etc.
So the MPR has the authority to amend and establish the constitution and also inaugurate the president. And the DPR's job is to make laws, preparing the budget, and supervising the government.
Don't forget the DPD. They handle regional autonomy and the relationship between central and regional governments. People often overlook their role, but it's actually important.
Why does a regulation become valid? There are three foundations. One, philosophical, aligns with the national value and ideology, or Pancasila. The second is sociological, fits society's needs and conditions. The third is juridical, created by the authorized institution.
So basically, if a rule doesn't fit society or has no legal basis, people will protest and reject it, so it needs balance.
So the conclusion is constitutional law is super important to regulate how the country runs. So everything is clear, rules are organized, and decisions function properly.
Exactly. Speaking of constitutional law, we also can't leave out the amendment of the 1945 Constitution. Before the Reformation era, the president's power was extremely strong. But after the amendments, that power was limited so that abuse of the authority wouldn't happen.
Yeah, the amendments made our government system more democratic. For example, the president used to be elected by the emperor, but now the president is elected directly by the people through election. So the people's voices has a much bigger impact.
And don't forget, after the amendments, no institutions were formed, like the Constitutional Court or MK. Their job is to review whether laws are in line with the Constitution or not. If a law violates it, the court can cancel that law.
That's super important so that laws stays fair and nobody can just create rules however they want.
Constitutional law also regulates the rights and obligations of citizens. We have the rights like education, healthcare, and freedom of speech, and the right to organization.
We just focus on the rights though. There are also obligations too, like obeying the law, defending your country, and respecting the rights of others. If someone only wants rights without responsibility, it is called selfish.
For example, holding a demonstration is a right, but it must be peaceful and not destroy public facilities. If it turns destructive, That's not fighting for rights anymore. That's just causing trouble.
Imagine this. There's a regional regulation forcing students to buy uniforms only from one specific vendor. If that burdens the public and contradicts higher laws, people can challenge and request a judicial review through the Supreme Court or Constitutional Court, depending on the cases.
Another example, let's say a mayor makes a rule banning people from holding peaceful demonstration in public spaces. That would violate the constitutional right to express opinion. So the citizens or organization could take the rule to court and have it reviewed.
Also, there's a case when local governments try to charge unreasonable fees for public services like birth certificates or business permits. If those fees don't follow national regulations, the public can report it, and the court can cancel the local regulation.
Or an election, if someone feels the results are unfair because of the manipulation of fraud, they can file a dispute with the Constitutional Court. Then the Constitutional Court then decides whether the election must be repeated or the result stands.
So in real life, constitutional law isn't something far away or complicated. It directly affects everyday situations and protects people from unfair rules.
Alright, so it's now clear that constitutional law isn't just something to memorize for class. It's applied in real life to keep the country running smoothly. If everyone understands and respects the law, the country will grow and won't fall in chaos.